damn it, we have a problem. Sorry about using bad words there, but we do have a problem. We don't even have a Friday live stream yet, which is why I just started one. Thank you for being here. Thanks everybody for just being, which is a good thing. We have to be in order to play. That should be a quote somewhere. You can't play if you don't be. But then of course no one would understand, so I guess it's good that it's not a quote somewhere. Anyhow, I'm happy that you are watching because I'm here, and otherwise you'd just be staring at the wall. No one would want that. So that is why I'm going to turn on the metronome right now while I see some people dropping in here, which makes me incredibly happy. Sorry. So let's listen to the metronome. Yeah, we got my man Ozil. What's up? We got Origo. I'm not even going to try to say more, but love from Czechia. Love it, man. Where are you guys from? Drop me some flags and drop me some locations. New Mexico, what's up, Low Time Pilot? That's a username I could say, thank you. So I'm gonna try to not stress things because I really want to warm up and not injure myself, and you should too. So I'm playing this EVH guitar. I haven't played it for a while. I absolutely love this neck. So it's always a great thing when I can get back to it. Yeah, we got my man Fred. What's up from Southern Indiana? Origio, that's right. It's crazy. Chilling with amazing guitar. People from other side of the planet. Love it. Though if you're in Czechia, we're fairly close to each other because I'm in Stockholm, Sweden. So we're in this, that's the same continent at least. From Brazil, Facebook, Moachir, good to see you, man. Oh, it's sunny and warm. Man, you get me so jealous. Is that how it is in Southern Indiana? It's freaking cold and dark here in Stockholm, Sweden. So what is my warm-up routine? My warm-up routine is to be mindful about the fact that your first 30 minutes are the most creative when you sit down and play. So you don't only want to play like some random exercise, you want to both warm up and be creative. That's my warm-up strategy. But I find it hard in these live streams because I get a little bit nervous in front of people. So when I'm on my own, I would warm up slower. So let's try that. Thank you, Atto and John Ragdi on YouTube. So this is a better tempo. Oh, just gotta fix that. Dead Man's Wife, what's up? Sorry, don't know any cover tracks much here. So warming up with arpeggios. I'm playing diatonic arpeggios in E minor now, which means all these arpeggios belong to the key of E minor. Hope you guys can hear me speak, by the way. Yeah, I think you can. Ho ho! La 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 la. Yeah, should be good. That's how we test sound here in Sweden. Sorry, I can't see the BPM now. I think this is faster than 100. A little bit faster, I would guess, but I don't know. Sorry. Loud and clear. That's awesome, man. So low time pilot, an arpeggio. It's a good question, by the way. An arpeggio is a chord that is broken up. So you don't play it like this. You play it like this. So it's just a chord where you play every note separately. And a lot of times on the guitar, we tend to play arpeggios up here and make it like a lead guitar feature. Yeah, we got my woman, Jacqueline, I should say, not my man, sorry. Freudian slip. Although if I say my woman, that sounds kind of suspicious as well, doesn't it? So what the hell should I say? Jacqueline, are you a native English speaker? Then you can help me out. So low time pilot, did that make sense? Chords that are played where every note is separate. Doesn't make much sense, does it? I can show you an arpeggio quickly. Here's my favorite C major triad. So on the A string we do 15, and then 14, 12, 13, 12, 15. So if I play that, and then I can play down. So 15, 14, 12, 13, 12, 15. Am I cheating on Dead Man's Wife? Can't tell. This is a public session. So I'm multi-streaming, so all the joking is done by people on YouTube. If you can't see the comment, that's why. You can still hear me joke though. Okay, low time pilots. So you've been accused of using them without knowing about them. So were you playing just a random chord when that happened? So here I'm doing some 4-note per string legato, which is a pretty bad idea when you're warming up, but I guess I can't help myself. A question by Saka from YouTube. So how do you learn arpeggio like Yngwie or neoclassical style? Okay, so you were arpeggiating rockabilly style licks, I see. Oh, it's Mr. Guitar Tube. I like it, Alabama Greg. I haven't done Guitar Tube for a while though. Happy you remind me. So the key to playing arpeggios like Yngwie or neoclassical would be sweeping, right? Even though Yngwie denies it, he does a lot of sweeping. So if you look at my right hand, you can see that it's not picking the regular way. Instead, it's sweeping across the strings. That is the sweep motion. And the reason this is good is because you can speed it up. In a way that would be hard if you were picking the notes the regular way. So this will be very hard to play at this tempo. It works at a slow tempo. Somewhat works. It can be tricky even at a slow tempo, but when you're speeding things up, you need the sweep motion, and that's how Yngwie does it so fast. Lenry on Facebook, you don't miss even one. I like you and develop my skills a lot. Oh, so I take it you don't miss any of my sessions. Thank you so much, man. Exactly, Saka, you're not doing alternate picking up and down like this. That's up and down, exactly. Instead, we're sweeping, so we're constantly playing in one direction. And then the other direction. And that's the one that's going to translate to faster tempos. At least if you're warmed up. So I need to work a little bit more on that. Let's sweep some more, and I can show you once I'm warm up. Cheers, Daisia from Facebook. Volume up. Are levels okay? Can you guys hear me? Ho, ho, ho. Let me know if there's an issue. This is saying volume up, so I don't know if that means you can't hear me. Hopefully you can. Timothy, you can hear me. Thanks for confirming. Load Time Pilot, thanks again for confirming. tempo version. Yeah, I really don't like cover songs. I don't know them very well, so they don't work well with the metronome. Hey there, Dan. So, Danny Plush Toys from YouTube. So, I like lots of different music. I mean, if the song is good, I typically like it. But a lot of stuff I do here is very guitar-oriented, as you can tell. So, you know, I guess it borders instrumental or just borders boredom in terms of being a bit exercise-like. But it's fun, because we get to practice and get to shred. You know, that's what we do in these streams a lot. You can only play covers. I have no creativity. That's okay to play covers the first years. You know, I did that as well, or I tried. I was never very good at it. But after 30 years of playing, I really don't fancy playing covers anymore. Sorry. I know it doesn't make sense because everybody wants you to play covers, but I really don't care for them. I just want to play my guitar the way I want to do it. But we still usually have some good dialogue here because turns out there are a lot of people out there who are interested in learning to express themselves and their personality through the instrument without playing cover songs. So typically we can connect here anyway, but I always have to apologize for not playing covers. Hey there, Kenny. What's up? question there, or I think it's a cool question if I understand it, by Karthik Mutt on YouTube. Could you please share your thoughts on how you might intersperse silence pauses into your awesome dexterity and speed? Thank you. What might be the parameters you would dabble with? So first of all, you would never do what I do now, which is just mindless noodling up and down with absolutely zero silences. But whenever you want to start making something musical that people might actually want to listen to, that's when those things come into play. And of course, you should do that a good portion of your time, but I'm warming up here. That's my excuse. But if we were to just, for the fun of it, keep noodling, but with a slightly more silencing, let's try that. Ouch, that hurt. So already more interesting, right? So of course, Karthik Mutt was completely right in asking for a few silences. So let's try some more here. So the same arpeggios come to life when I'm not just bursting out notes all over the place. Others, love from India, what's up? Stockholm, Sweden here, by the way. So Clash Frid, I hurt my thumb when I was cutting tomatoes. I almost spliced my thumb in two. Luckily, the nail stopped me from doing that, but it's still a pretty nasty cut wound there, so that's why it looks like this. Is this called a band-aid? Is this a band-aid? It's plåster in Swedish. So there you have it, Karthik Mutt. More of like a musical application of those shred runs. Ah, Lily, thank you. I'm happy I could play Smells Like Teen Spirit. Adarsh is asking, what is the best way to memorize the fretboard for improvising solo in any scale? Oh, Band-Aid was a brand and by virtue everything like that. Okay, so this is called a Band-Aid. I see it. Thanks for the explanation as well. Cool, Nano from India on Facebook. How you doing, man? Implorez-roi, t'es un génie, frère. Génie. That's how you pronounce it, I think. Merci beaucoup. Mon français est almost, mon français est presque non existant. Sorry. My French needs to be improved. So we have a great question. How do you play all over the fretboard? And how do you memorize scale shapes so that you can basically go from, down here to up here? And the other way around, maybe. how do you memorize the positions? So this one is a little bit tricky to explain, and it's, first of all, it's kind of impossible to give you the whole thing here just now, but I try to explain the framework when I get this question, because memorizing one pattern across the fretboard, anyone can do that, right? There are a couple of issues with that. It doesn't sound very good. Because it doesn't sound very good, you tend to forget it. And that's when the memorization question usually comes up. So my answer is also usually, if memorizing is your issue, then you're probably practicing it wrong. And it turns out that most of the time the issue is not memorizing stuff, it is how you learn it in the first place. Because if you learn it right, you won't struggle with memorizing. You're going to struggle with other things, trust me, but not memorizing. So the way to learn it is not by learning one long shape. It might seem like a good shortcut, but it inevitably leads to the issue we just discussed. So what you're gonna, or what you should do instead, is really to start with licks and move those around. Because if you can play a cool lick, or several cool licks interconnected up and down, it's gonna sound awesome. And if it sounds awesome, you won't forget it, because you're gonna play it every time you pick up the guitar. So the secret is to, sure, you can visualize adjacent scale boxes, and there's gonna be some memorization involved just in like, where are the dots and where should I play it? But that's only the starting point. As soon as you've done that, you gotta learn licks in each of these positions, and then you gotta interconnect them. So it turns out that when we do it the right way, it turns into a pretty big project. And that's when you gotta focus on just two adjacent scale boxes, like this. Sorry, you didn't understand anything of that because it went by so fast. But if we have like our box on the 12th fret here, you can play a blues lick, right? Maybe some Stevie Ray Vaughan, some Jimi Hendrix, whatever, Kirk Hammett, Metallica, you know. And then you can try it in box 2. And that's going to be harder because we know less licks there. But there's some B.B. King-ish maybe. If you go between those licks, well, you have your first horizontal movement. A little bit slower. And that's the start. That's going to take a long time, just that. But then you can learn something in the next box here. And you have 3 boxes. So I don't know if that makes sense. Shameless plug, I have lots of courses covering this. It's a big topic, and it's a cool one as well. It's fun to play all over the fretboard. But I hope that gave you some kind of insight. D-Ban is asking, why today's camera quality is better? I have a completely different setup, and that's because I just recorded a video for basically my subscribers or members or my Patreons. And I recorded a high quality video where I explained my approaches to outside playing. And by the way, you can find it on Patreon, it's live there. And I wanted to do that with a great quality. So I spent 40 minutes plugging everything together. And now that I have it set up, I figured I might just do a live stream with a good setup. So that's the thing. At some point, maybe I should get like 2 cameras, because that would allow me to much more easily keep a good quality setting. But as it is now, I can't really have 2 good mirrorless cameras. So what I do is I use a mirrorless camera for the pre-recorded stuff, like my shorts and my longer spoken videos, maybe some of the member stuff. And I use them for live streams, but not always, because if I'm not set up the way I am now, then I'll just grab my phone, and that's when you get the lower quality stuff. By the way, check this out. My daughter got me this. Can you even see this? This is some next quality stuff. But it was very important that everybody in the family had the same freaking cover. To be completely transparent, mom or my wife resisted, but I didn't, so I got I got the freaking awesome cover there. But it's fun because we even went to one of those little, what are they called, like shops where they can do a custom one for you, and even they were impressed by this, Chinese one. That's how it goes. Hey there, Vichinkilic. Sorry for butchering your username. Very cool to hear you understand of Egypt, even though you don't speak my language. How is your youngest daughter? Thanks for asking. She's not completely well yet. She was home from school, so I've been with her today as well. We're going to go skiing next week, so we're a little bit worried that won't happen. We'll see. If any of us grown up catches the same thing, then I guess we're screwed for that skiing trip. We'll see. Thank you. I'm so excited and so cool. Love you, and please play Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know that one. Sorry, man. I play electric guitar myself, and therefore I know how difficult it is. It is, yes. Lilith, I would agree that the electric guitar is probably one of the more difficult instruments. I'm not saying that to raise my own, the perception of my own skills. More because, if you look at a piano, you can just produce a note immediately. Whereas with the guitar, you're going to have to struggle just producing one note. And then we're not speaking about a sequence of several notes. Like just this is going to be difficult for a beginner. On the piano, you just hit the note. Now this is going to be super mega incredibly difficult for a beginner. And this is going to be impossible, right? When we cross strings and, and that's not the same with the piano. Those things are doable from a beginner's perspective. But then, of course, if we speak about like a high level of playing, that's going to be difficult regardless of the instrument. But just getting started is tricky on the guitar. I guess there are wind instruments where it's even worse. You're going to have to spend weeks just producing your first note. So yeah, there's a spectrum, but I would agree, guitar is difficult. But it's fun, that's what matters. Sorry, I messed up. Kitty, photographer on Instagram, is asking, how do I get my fingers stronger? I tried spamming pull-offs for 15 minutes a day and didn't really help. 15 minutes a day is good, but you're going to have to keep on going. How long did you practice 15 minutes per day? Was it for like weeks or months or? Sorry, Katikmut on YouTube. I don't even have a 7 string, so I can't help you. Yeah, I don't have a 7 string. Sorry, mate. How to be more precise while playing fast sweep picking. Okay, Kitty, so if you've practiced for 2 weeks, half months, then you should keep on going. But the problem is if you push speed, you're going to get bad results or no results. So you have to play controlled. If you were doing pull-offs, that will give you results. Just have to stick with it. That's going to be good, but you have to stick with it and you have to play within your range and not push speed. Because if you push speed, not only are you going to play sloppy, but you're going to tense up. And if you tense up, that's going to be a major block to actually increase the physical motion, increase the speed of the physical motion. It's going to be impossible if you tense up. So there are actually students who legitimately practice a lot and still see no progress at all. And those are usually the ones with a super tense technique. So that's why being relaxed is important, and actually the more relaxed you are, the faster you will progress. So this is something I think people really don't believe me because I keep on saying it and people keep asking, but if you do play below your comfort speed with really small movements, and instead of thinking about how you can increase speed, just think of how you can be more relaxed. That's what's going to give you faster progress. So you can be smart about that stuff, but I think a majority, like 90% of guitarists, including myself for many years, we just cannot believe that playing slow and relaxed will make us play super fast and controlled. So we don't do it. But I'm telling you, I had to go back and fix it, and that's what worked. So. Oh, interesting. There are more likes than viewers. Well, not now. I see 30 viewers and 27 likes on YouTube. But I see your point. Bata from, is that Poland? I'm not sure about the flag there, the red and white. Okay, so that's a good question. Biba is asking on YouTube, what should I do for hand synchronized exercise? So any playing you do where both hands are involved is a form of hand synchronizing exercise. So part of it is just, again, slowing down and making sure, the notes sound good and you're in control and you're playing below your comfort speed. But there's also a bit of a complication when we're speaking about hand sync, because it depends on what you're trying to play, but I think that in many cases, the big issue why people are, seeing issues with their hand sync is because the left hand is not up to the task. So anytime there's going to be a little bit of lead guitar involved, or if it's like a riff and there's some kind of embellishment or something happening, maybe just some chords like, but then there's something happening in between, like, and people are struggling with that hard part in between, and it's usually that the left hand is not up to the task. And if one of the hands, doesn't matter which one, isn't up to the task, the symptom is going to be hand sync, right? Or bad hand sync. You're going to notice it in the shape of hand sync issues. But the issue might not be hand sync. It could simply be that one of the hands needs focused practicing. So, if it's the picking, which is more rare, I would say, but then you would just do like some kind of picking exercise that matches what you're trying to achieve. If it's the left hand, which it is in 90% of cases at least, then you're gonna target the issue with a relevant left hand exercise. And it depends what you're trying to do, If you're trying to do like, then you would, work on some kind of legato, and in the long run, that's going to simplify the faster runs. And one good legato exercise is just the Santana thing, this one. That. You can do 15, 14, 12, all pull-offs. So there you have a great legato exercise for pull-offs. You can do the opposite and do 12, 14, 15, and you would get hammer-ons. So, it's simple, but it's great sounding, and it's very effective to focus on your left-hand issues. Stefan Heuser, I love you since the early GMC videos. Thanks, man. So we have an old-timer here. That's awesome. Greetings from Germany. And if you're still, but then it got cut out, please continue. I want to hear. But so were you on the GMC forum? If you were, maybe I remember your username. Can let me know. Yeah, but these are some great topics. You know, just general. In contact with Gabriel Leopardi. Tell him his Iron Maiden masterclass was fire. Awesome. So well, occasionally we bump into each other on social media, but as you might have seen, he doesn't produce any new content now on GMC, so we don't have that daily contact anymore. But of course, the DNA of Gabriel is all over the site, and he left us so many cool things to work with, and all the way from his, you know, he's really good, obviously, at the rhythm and shreddy metal stuff, but also he did a lot of cool courses. So yeah. It's everywhere, and I work with him intensely on many of those courses, so there's our mixed DNA on those. So if you don't have a clue what we're speaking about, this is GMC, my site, guitarmasterclass.net. It was one of the first online learning sites, so it's been around for, I think, was it 2006 or something? Yeah, so almost 20 years now. It's crazy. So yeah, so occasionally we have an old timer dropping in, and actually these, when I go live, there is a notification sent to the GMC website. So sometimes the old timers find their way into just by the notification in the header. Was that how you found me now, Stefan? Was it via the GMC header? Ooh, cool, Jacqueline. So you practiced with my new video. Which one was it? What brand is this guitar? It's EVH, and it's the model is Wolfgang Standard. Let's practice more. Jackson's guitarist. So is that, what's his name? He has a YouTube channel. I can't remember his name. But he did black and white. That kind of thing. I can't play it though. Oh, you found me randomly now. That's even cooler, man. Awesome. So you didn't even follow my YouTube channel. It just popped up. That's awesome. So good to meet you again. I will tell Gabriel hello from you. North Dakota, USA. What's up, Chicago, Ted? It's very nice to see some US people. I often do these live streams a little bit earlier, so I miss you guys. Good to see you. I was your hero, man. That's awesome. So did you know me from the Ultimate Guitar days as well? I was having like a pretty popular video series. This was before YouTube, basically, on Ultimate Guitar, and it was called Shred Masterclass. I think you might be able to find still some traces of it if you Google. But it was fun because back in the days, you know, there wasn't any streaming video, you know, so on-demand streaming, that wasn't a thing, you know. We had these pirate sites and stuff like that, but so what I did, I recorded a video. I think it was like one of those Windows Media video file sites. Only Windows people could view them, but whatever. And we would upload them to the server of Ultimate Guitar, and people would download them with their, you know, 28K modems or whatever. So, you know, they would hit the download button, wait 45 minutes, and then they would get my lesson. That was like so cool, because the other options were Pirate Bay or, you know, buying one of those instructional DVDs or whatever. So those were the days. Oh, the feed keeps breaking up? Is that something many people are experiencing? Is it choppy right now? I can't really see on my end that there would be an issue, but it could be. Health is excellent. Hopefully we're okay. But do let me know if you guys are experiencing problems. Maybe it's my glitch picking that confuses you. Sounds like an internet glitch, where it's just a picking glitch. Okay, Dead Man's Wife, thanks for confirming. Brother, you are the greatest guitarist on YouTube right now. Wow, man, Duke, you're too kind. Someone paying you to say this? Just kidding. So if the feed starts and stops, it might be your internet connection. So try maybe if you can choose between Wi-Fi and 4G or 5G, or if you can just close the app and come back, but maybe you're gonna lose me. So you have to follow my profile before you do that, otherwise you might not find your way back. I'm a guitar player myself, sincerely mean it. Thank you so much, man. You're the best, Duke. Thanks a lot for the kind words. Okay, Smooth, Kartik Mutt, thanks for confirming. Oh, yeah, awesome. So my video on moving outside of the box, that's awesome, yeah. That's a super common thing, right? So what I did was a video like a week ago or something, and that's the one Jacqueline on YouTube is speaking about. And I'm very happy to hear that you got some progress out of that, because a lot of people are stuck in the first box, right? Just doing this kind of thing. Nothing wrong with that. But then they see someone who does this. It's like, whoa, what was that? I want to do that. I want to go outside of the box. It's a funny bend there. I like it. Okay, so what's your favorite axe? That's a cool question. So I don't have one. That's why I have so many. Or I don't know if I have so many, but today this is my favorite axe. I love this one because it's the neck is really narrow, so I can grip it all the way around, which gives a really natural and relaxed posture. But a lot of times I you know, it's my Strat, or I have one Fender Strat, and that's the one. Maybe you can see them, yeah. It's this one. And behind it there's a T-style guitar, and that's also my favorite. Sorry, man. They're all different, you know. Lilith, I'm so cool. No, you're cool, Lilith. Thank you, man. You had a guitar with a crazy thin headstock. That was Parker. That was my Parker Nightfly. Still have it, but I don't play it as much. So it's Parker Nightfly, and it had this like bent banana-looking headstock. It was pretty cool. It's a carbon fiber neck, and I had the Nightfly version, but there's the Parker Fly as well. That one was almost paper thin, you know. Very cool guitar there. I never had one of those, but I got to try them. My teacher had one. It's, yeah. They had all of the Parker guitars I had tried. They had somewhat of an issue with the sound. They sounded good, but very different, you know. So that's the kind of reason why I don't play it as much. I've tried swapping pickups a million times. Just can't make it sound the way I wanted to. I think it's the old maple body, and yeah. But I can't bring myself to sell that guitar. I think it's worth quite a bit, but because of the reason you mentioned, you know, it's the one I started out on the internet, so I can't help myself but play it. Or keep it, rather. I don't know why I like that bend. It's like a, you know, there's this, the blue note. A lot of people confuse that with the blues note, but the blue note is actually a term that originates, I think, from like early jazz stuff, where you hit the note that's not really a note. It's like a quarter note between the major third and the minor third. So it has nothing to do with the blues note, which is the flat 5. And I think that's what I'm hitting here. I'm basically bending, I mean, sort of E minor. And that's the root note, the minor third, major third. So I think that's in between. That's why it sounds so cool. Yeah, it's in between. One of the few places you can be a little bit out of tune with your bending, and it's going to sound cool. What is a good place to start training your ear? I've never liked ear training. I did a little bit of that, but best way is to transcribe songs and solos. You know, stuff you listen to. That's the best way to practice your ear, if you ask me. What is a good place to, oh, sorry. How many years of experience? 30 years I've been playing. Ooh, that's an interesting one, Deban. Let us play along with you live. Just leave space. Okay. So that's actually a killer idea. Hello there, Mr. 22, and I'm not going to say the rest on Instagram. Rishav, what's up? So we got a very good idea from D-Band where I would play and leave some space for you guys and not take all the space myself. Why didn't I think of that? So I'm gonna play some rhythm guitar now in the key of E minor. No. Yes, key of E minor. I just wanted to check I was in standard. So what I'm gonna do now is play, so you can play the E minor pentatonic box, right? The one we all know and love on the 12th fret. You can play that, and I'm gonna play some rhythm guitar, and we'll see if it works out. I'm just gonna... Just E. Sorry. Is it too fast or is it working? I can lower the tempo. Maybe I should do something simpler. This is pretty tricky stuff I'm throwing at you. The simplest way would just be maybe something like this. And then I can, for the fun of it, throw in some licks, so I'm not just doing... So if you just joined, play in E minor pentatonic. So your box up here. That's right, keep on going. I want to hear some shreddy licks. Now do some slow bending. Stefan, I prefer like a tube amp. So I currently use the Mesa Boogie Mark V. That's my favorite. But I want to get a Marshall amp as well. It was hard hard to speak and play at the same time. Jacqueline, carry the rhythm. So, would you guys say like a little lick in between? Is that helpful, or is it just in the way? Try playing blues licks in E minor pentatonic. A little off timing wise. Still just E minor. I messed up. Are you guys still jamming? Ivan, I'm from Stockholm, Sweden. Where are you from? Hernandez? Latin America? Cool, we got 3 people jamming. That's awesome, man. Is anybody else jamming? It's E minor pentatonic. Wow, sorry about that. We got lots of people jamming then, at least 5 people. That's pretty cool. Is there anybody on Facebook or Instagram jamming? From Mexico. I was almost right then. You can't jam with one of the greatest teachers plays rhythm guitar. You're too kind, man. You should jam, just E minor pentatonic. So, pentatonics here. If you want to get fancy, Wyoming, you're jamming, awesome. John Saxton. So do you guys prefer like a mix, or do you, would you prefer I do more like open chords, or not open chords, but ringing chords. Like that, or do you prefer when there's a little bit more chug, like maybe a mix? I can also do galloping, like I messed up because I was reading the lilt is from Austria, sorry. Exactly, I do a little bit too much. I'm throwing like 10 million riffs at you. Maybe after a while you can try in a different key. Okay, let's do a key change now. I've been doing it in E minor for such a long time. Let's move up to F sharp. That sounds cool. So just move your pentatonic position up from the 12th fret to the 14th fret. So I'll start with E minor now, and then you can hear the switch. Listen to this. I messed up one time. E minor now. Just F sharp minor now. You can play it down here as well. Cool, so Dead Man's Wife, if you can only do E minor pentatonic up here on the 12th fret, I'm assuming you have an electric guitar now, otherwise it's going to be tricky. Then you can just move it up like 2 frets, right? So if you can play that, then move that up to the 14th fret instead. And it's exactly the same, everything is the same. If you are playing E minor down here on the open position, it's much harder to transpose it to F sharp minor. You're going to have to do this, which is pretty, you know, almost advanced stuff. It's a cool, I love F sharp minor because we're so used to hearing E minor. So whenever there's F sharp minor, it feels like we're, you know, in the middle of a cool section on a song where there has been like a modulation or change of key. James Long, I'm new here. Awesome. Good to see you, James Long. Yes, Stefan, I'm very happy to see people are jamming with me here. This is new. So I think it was Diban came up with this idea. Diban, you're the man. Why didn't we think of this earlier? You rock for coming up with this. This was a lot of fun. So now that I've spoken a little bit about F sharp minor, let's jam a little bit more with that. Again, just take your pentatonic position E minor, move it up from the 12th fret to the 14th fret. So in other words, it's going to be 14, 17, 14, 16, 14, 16, 14, 16, 14, 17, 14, 17. Okay? So see if you can come up with something there. getting too experimental here. Well, that was fun, and you can of course always rewind the tape once we're done, and you can jam with me here, just have it on loop. Chompy, I taught you a lot in the early days of Ultimate Guitar. Awesome. So now we have someone who did know me from Ultimate Guitar. That's what I spoke about 30 minutes ago. We got Marcus here. Awesome. Lots of people on Instagram. We got the request for pinch harmonics by I am Mali or Happy Boy. Sorry for butchering your username. Mixolydian for sure. There's emphasis on the major or minor 7 here. But as soon as there's a minor 3rd, it can be tricky, but that's your like Mixolydian. Scale, I guess. Okay, so how do you learn pinch harmonics? That's a good one. It's actually a cool thing to be able to throw in these kind of, sessions. Just being able to do this is pretty fun. I don't know what I was playing on the bridge pickup the whole time there, but I guess we had fun. One thing I realized is, I get a lot of questions about these pinch harmonics, but one thing I realized is that most people can actually get the pinch harmonics. The hard part is the bending and the vibrato. Because the pinch harmonic, you could basically learn to do that from day one. But adding a bend and vibrato, that can take you a long time to get down. So, you might have heard that pinch harmonics is just, where you let a little bit of the pick stick out, if you can see that. So you should just see a little bit of the pick sticking out from the thumb there, so a little bit. So you kind of mute the string with the thumb as you pick it. So there. But the problem is, it doesn't sound cool until you give it a good shake. And so I think that's where people fail a lot. So just goes to show that practicing bending and vibrato, that's part of the foundation, and it's super important. So it doesn't matter if you want to just play leads, blues, or whatever, or if you want your pinch harmonics to scream, You need the bending and the vibrato. Oh, Divan. You learned pinch harmonic, but you can't do it anymore. Damn it! And you learned it from me. So I am Ali or Happy Boy. I can't even say your username. On the 5th and 6th string, it's the same principle, but it's a little bit harder. So what I like to do here is exaggerating the circular striking motion. I think that helps in kind of muting that low E string. They're hard to find there. Now I felt like doing a little bit of Mixolydians. I don't do a lot of upstroke pitching. It's the same idea though, but I don't do it. You would angle your pick in slightly differently. So if regular downstrokes and pinch harmonics are done with the pick fairly parallel to the strings, for upstrokes you would have to angle it to a 90 degree like that. And the reason being, the thumb has to come slightly, after the pick has striked. So if you're gonna do an upstroke, that's the only way you can achieve that. So again, instead of holding the pick parallel to the string, 90 degree angle, and then you can try doing an upstroke. I don't really see why you would want to do that. Like maybe some Dimebag Darrell style. Have you ever used any of the multi-effects or digital guitar processors? I always prefer high gain tube amps, but I recently picked up a Headrush Prime. Cool. Yeah, they're good, the new ones. I've had a Kemper for like 10 years. I did play quite a bit, but now I've completely stopped playing digital stuff. So, it's good stuff. It's super handy and it sounds good, but it doesn't feel good, for me at least. And you have all these million of options. That can be cool, but I think most guitarists don't want to tweak like a million different options. They either don't want to tweak at all, so just something that works, aka a simple tube amp, like a Fender amp or something, at least if you're into clean sounds, or a high gain if it's like Marshall, maybe Marshall. You can almost not set the amp wrong. You just turn the volume up and it's going to sound pretty good. But if you do want to tweak, then you don't want to spend a million years finding the sweet spots. That's what you have to do with digital, at least the units I've tried. But with tube amps, a lot of times, every setting is a sweet spot. I mean, it's a different sweet spot and it might not suit what you're trying to accomplish, but it all sounds pretty good. So those are just some of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of digital at all. But I would like to try the quad Cortex thing. That looks like fun, but maybe if I need a backup for some live playing, I would get that. But that's not an issue now, because the only live playing I do is right here and right now, and I have all my stuff here. So, of course, if one amp breaks, but yeah, I have more than one amp, so I can get away with it here. Yeah, exactly. The convenience of the digital boards, exactly. And I mean, it's getting so small now with, the Kemper has a Stomp thing, and I think probably Axe FX has as well, and you have those Tone X, and you have the Quad Cortex. So they're getting smaller and smaller, and you can, either just use that as your main rig and plug into the PA system, or you can have it as a backup. There are cool analog backups as well. I think, what are they called? Like Quiltex or Quilt something. I've looked a little bit into those. And there's I think it's called Sansamp or Tech 21. They also have some analog stuff, but in a pedal form, and you have like, distortion and reverb and maybe delay and some other stuff. And it's all just analog in one place. So those kind of things, I would probably explore that even before getting a digital backup. But I do realize that for a lot of people, digital is perfect, especially if you're just starting out. And you don't want to make like a multi-$1,000 investment just to get those, analog pedals and tube amps. It's insanely expensive. So you can just buy a Tone X or something and you get it all in one place. Cool, guys. So I think we have to stop now. It's already 7 o'clock. We've been going for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Pretty good. So I'll just do a little outro jam, but I want to thank you guys for sticking around and for all the great feedback and suggestions. We even had a first jamming session. Hey there, Fret Flyer. Pretty awesome. So thank you so much. Let's jam away. I can't because I suck. Thank you, Carlo from Facebook. Thank you, Duke. Thank you, Dead Man's Wife. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you so much, Kartik Mutt. Thank you for the great words. For your suggestion for me to stop shredding all the time, that was a very good one. I'm going to do that right now. WA, was that like Wisconsin or something? Sorry. I don't know if it's like in the US. I'm really bad at the US geography. Washington, maybe. Leishwan, you can keep in touch with me if you go to christopherdahl.com. You can email me there, or you can just contact me via my social media. I think email might be the better option. Oh, Washington, I was right. Awesome. You live in the power center of the world. That's awesome. Okay, not Washington, D.C. So Washington, the state then, I guess. Sorry, I don't know that stuff. So there's a state and there's a city, is that it? No, there's not a state that's called Washington. Must be some other subdivision that I don't understand. Oh, so there is a state, okay. But do you have like, is there a senator from Washington? So does it work like any other state where you have your, like a governor? Yeah, you have a governor, but do you have like senator that represents Washington? I'm probably just confused about your system. Okay, interesting. So I learned about the US political system as well. In Sweden we have like, I think it's called representative democracy, so functions a little bit differently. Plus, of course, our country is like one of your small states. So it's, by definition, it's going to be a little bit different. String action, I prefer as low as possible if it's possible, you know, without, you know, getting all the fuss. Oh, 2 senators and 1 governor from Washington. You are not confused. Okay, awesome. I just can't think of who is the senator from, or the 2 senators from Washington. I guess they're Democrats. What are their names? I know what I meant to say, Dead Man's Wife. Representative democracy means we don't elect a president. So we just elect the party, and then the party chooses the president. It's called statsminister here. Also, we're not locked to having just 2 parties. We can have as many as we want to, and then those form blocks. It seems to me that in the US you only have 2 parties, or you can be like an independent. So I guess there's a bit more flexibility there, though I don't blame you because your democracy is the older one. So it's just a pity it's so hard fixing the issues in the old, you know, constitution or democracy. We don't quite have that because ours is a bit younger. D. Sharburn, Ingrid Malmsteen or Jason Becker? Both are awesome, but probably a bit more Ingve on my end. Jason Becker to me, that's the arpeggio stuff. How did we get speaking about the Constitution? I don't even know what senator from my own New York. Chuck Schumer. Oh, so Chuck Schumer. Yeah, I know him. He's the old, he's the minority leader, right? Senate minority leader. Minority leader. I gotta brush up on my... So Yngwie Malmsteen, that would be this. Maybe not like. I don't know if that's Yngwie Malmsteen style. Maybe something like. That's got to be Yngwie style. Andre, Sabrina, thank you so much. Should I wear a leather jacket? Can't. I don't like wearing parts of animals. I don't know why. So I avoid leather jackets whenever I can. Yeah, politics can easily get hot. True, but now we're just speaking about the constitutional system, so we should be good. Thank you, Gio. So this is an EVH Wolfgang standard. Cool, I got a new subscriber. Thank you, Lyric Zone. Thank you so much. Sabrina from Indonesia, what's up? Ouch. Neoclassical, well this would... Whew. Okay, I think I was gonna end it there. Now it's time to do it. So thank you so much for being around. We had such a lovely conversation now. And very cool ideas and requests in this session. You guys are the